Welcome to another edition of the Good Outdoors on 99.5 Kicks Country with Steve, Daryl, and Ronnie. It's everything about the outdoors. Take it away, guys.
Good morning. Welcome to the Good Outdoors radio show here in Black Crow Media on a wonderful Thursday. Is it Thursday morning? Yeah, it's Thursday morning. I'm in the studio here with Steve Nichols and Daryl Sample Jr. We're a man down this morning, Steve.
We are a man down. I don't know what's wrong with him. I haven't heard, but I'm sure he's
feeling good.
Under the weather. That's going around a lot too, man.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's they said the flu season started off, real early and been pretty bad. So we hope Ronnie gets to feeling better there. It's going to be a little bit quieter, but there will be a little more room in here.
Definitely. He said he texted me this morning and said he had been up all night with a sick stomach, so he wasn't doing real well.
Ugh.
So I told him to get better. We got it under control. I'm sure he's probably listening right now, so get better, Ronnie.
Well, ain't no doubt about it. We got it under control, and that's why it's good to have three of us when a man goes down. Got two able bodies to take his place, and plus we can flip the mic around, and Daryl Sample Jr. get a little time to put his beautiful voice on the radio.
My 2 cents now and then.
I hear you. Oh, man.
Man, lots happening in the news here the last little while. I actually got some bad news over from Brunswick, where lived over there for 5 or 6 years, maybe more than that. I can't even remember now. But it's all a blur. But one of the county commissioners was murdered. He was hands bound and shot in the head and dumped into the marina there, and they found his body yesterday. And
doggone it.
As of last night, I had not heard if they had apprehended who did it, but it was not good. He had a wife and some children, and a good guy, was a real estate agent there, well respected in the community, and some idiot took his life. And there's nothing you can say there, but the first thing that always comes to my mind, I wish his name was I think it was Jim Sublett. Wish he'd have been carrying a gun. If he'd have been carrying a gun, maybe he could have defended himself. And not all the time, they get the drop on you, so to speak, then there's nothing you can do. But you got to think, if you were, if you had a carry permit and you had a gun in your car and you were, accosted there, you could defend yourself and maybe turn the tables a little bit, and a life would be saved. And of course, you got the idiots on the other side saying that you shouldn't have a gun, And
oh yeah, there's people out there is always going to say that, but I tell you, I honestly believe if more people were armed, there would be less violence, and that's something we're going to touch on a lot today. Is talking more about gun control again and more about things happening with that.
And you're right. Statistics seem to indicate that's correct. In societies that are in cities and societies and places overseas and here in the United States, in different towns, and even right here in Georgia, the crime rate where you can legally carry a weapon is less, and it's inarguable,
Yeah.
And switching gears off the subject here, I noticed you got that Mount Hua pulled up. I saw that last night, and
man,
that's amazing. It's a place in China, I believe, that you can hike up this mountain. A lot of the monks and people like that, go up there to get away. And when I say get away, they get away. There's one little area there that if you're walking on a small edge, and if you fall a mile. A mile. Can you imagine that? If you fall, you fall a mile down. I don't think you're going to survive.
They're walking on little wooden planks right there, and you see where one's been replaced. I want to know how in the heck they get them up there to replace them.
They work their tails off. That's a hike. That's I don't know that I could do it with my knees.
I can tell you right now, I can't do it.
Well, I know that the fear of the heights would be a problem for a lot of people, and it said in the article that they do it in the dark. A lot of them do it in the dark, so they don't have to actually see how far down it is. But you got about a 1 foot wide narrow plank going around a sheer rock face to get to the other side. They do have some chains, looks like bolted up there in the rock somehow, that you can hold on to. But man, I tell you,
that's crazy.
It would take a lot of nerve to do that, and I don't know. You are in another state of mind if you were walking that thing.
Numerous visitors have embarked on the hike and never returned. I wonder why.
Well, I don't think
they're going to stay up there.
I don't think it's because they chose to stay. You're right. They probably had a little misstep there. But I'm like you on them planks put together. It said they're put together with metal, connectors and chains, and it looks shaky. But you can Google it when you get home. You can probably type in hiking Mount Hua HUA, and it'll probably come right up. So
that is something else there.
Yep, it's a interesting thing. Interesting thing.
So now, you see what we do on the Good Outdoors. We just surf the internet.
Yeah, that's right. Well, we talk about getting outdoors, and we're here surfing the internet, but the internet is a great tool to investigate what there is out there in the good outdoors, or anything. The gun control debate that we're going to touch on this morning. What's biting in your favorite lake? What's a good place to go camping?
If you need to know about it, you can find it on the internet. You can bet on that.
That's exactly right. And was out in the community here in Valdosta yesterday visiting the people. Dave over at Southern Ocean Sports, one of our new sponsors here, and he's going to be coming in the studio. You never know when he'll pop in. They're having a little promotional for his TV show that's coming up, that's debuting, and he'll be in to give us the details on that. But he's a local TV celebrity here, stars on the hit show on History Channel called Axemen. He is he goes down in the water, dives down in the water, and they bring up deadhead logs. Logs that's been under the water, basically preserved for hundreds of years, and they find them and they pull those logs to the surface, and that's what the show's about. And his crew, called the Dreadnoughts, is one of the key storylines in that show. So he'll be here to tell us all about that. Not to mention the fact that he runs Southern Ocean Sports. It's been in Valdosta for over 26 years, believe it or not. That's a long time, right in the same spot. So
I'm interested. I can't wait till he comes, man. I'd like to pick his brain and talk about the show and talk about what he does at SOS.
That's right. You just don't be in business 26 years unless you're over there doing something right. So if you got any kind of need from diving to other outdoor activities such as paintball, you can go by there and Dave will help you out. He's got a good staff that works there with him, and he's a good dude. So y'all support him as well as all of our other sponsors. We're going to be announcing the official contest, or not contest, but opportunity. Well, I guess it is a contest. It's a drawing, that we'll be doing there at Fisherman's Paradise on Bemis Road. We're going to. It's exclusive to the Good Outdoors Radio Nation. Whether you're on Facebook or you just listen to the show, it's just for you. You're going to be able to go in there and register to win a $100 shopping spree. So, that's a pretty good prize right here at Christmas. They're going to have the drawing over there, and we'll give you the details of that probably in the morning. But be listening in on that and on the details on what you got to do to go in there and participate. It don't cost a thing. Just go by there. That's it.
That's what you got to go by there. That's the key to it. You can't call. You can't do anything else. You have to go by there. So
no purchase necessary. You could go in there and tell your friends. They can come in, but you got to go in there and say that you heard it on the Good Outdoors. So again, it's exclusive. If you just happen to pander in there and go buy you some minnows to go fishing, you're not going to enter unless you know about it. So if you're listening, you know about it and you qualified. So go by there and do it.
y'all get ready for that, because we're going to push that pretty hard.
Yep.
And it's a great thing. I'd love to have that shopping spree between for Christmas. Go in there and buy some new fishing gear.
Yeah, $100 is a lot of money if you got somebody that likes to fish. My little son Charlie, he's gotten bitten by the fishing bug, and he's got a rod and reel on his Christmas list. So, if I was able to win the contest, I'd flat sure be going by there and trying to win it. You can buy a lot of fishing supplies with $100.
Yep.
So make sure you go by and see Dave and Judy over there on Bemis Road.
Got people chiming in already this morning. We got Thomas Gray, of course, and Bulldog, and Brooke. Brooke Glassner works for CJB. Oh, she's checking in. She's already up and at it this morning. That's kind of early, but wow. I know what she's up there.
I know some people that work at CJB. They're good folks.
I don't know any, yeah, I know a few people.
Yeah.
But good morning, everybody.
Yeah, everybody's up.
Coming in.
Didn't seem to be as foggy. We got some rain yesterday, and I don't know if it's supposed to continue. Somebody's going to have to step up and do the
weather report. We're going to do. We're going to have to do an absent nut weather report, I guess.
Yeah,
instead of the rest.
Yeah, the under the weather nut. We'll definitely have to believe the nut part in there. Either way we go with that. But.
And this Chris Morgan keeps sending us pictures of this Bob's Place Hunting Club over there. That's pretty interesting too. He's got them out up under the shed there eating lunch. He's piquing my interest in that Bob's Place Hunting Club. I'm gonna have to get over and visit them a little bit.
Yeah, they got it going on over there.
They sure do. Got the just like the grill out there beside the shed. They sitting around the table just talking. Got a TV up under there so they can watch a football game. I guarantee you that's what they're watching, is a football game. Got a big grill right there.
They are living living in the good outdoors when they go do stuff like that, man. That's a nice day. Get out there, and especially in cooler weather, build a campfire, check things out. We certainly support that activity. And
sure do.
You know, we had some comments there. I was looking on the we put the Christmas decoration of Santa Claus in a tower stand, you know, and that's all in fun. And I actually pulled that from a friend of ours, Tom Jackson, that does the outro song on Hunting is Good TV, and you know, it's believe it or not, you know, some people get bent out of shape about that, and on some of his Facebook page, you got people hating on it, you know. It's just a joke, people. It's just a joke. Santa Claus ain't really in the tower saying shooting reindeer. You know, come on.
Got the
a joke.
Got the penguin up there with the binoculars trying to look around with their orange hat on. That was pretty funny. I thought it was funny. Yeah,
I mean, I do too. It's right along lines of that thing that circulates in the internet, you know, where they got the deer hanging upside down under the rafter, the lighted Christmas deer, you know, and it definitely lets the world know that you support hunting when you decorate your lawn with hunting Christmas decorations. So
you know, you drive around at Christmas time. I mean, deer are associated with Christmas. It might be reindeer that, you know, that pull Santa Claus a trade. They got some big old horns.
That's right.
And there is actually a reindeer season. You can shoot them. So
well, there's a reindeer market. You know, especially overseas for the meat. That's why you see a lot of reindeer farms, believe it or not, people. So get your head out of the sand. Rudolph is you know,
he's alive and well.
He's alive and well, not getting shot at. We'll be back here in just a few minutes on the Good Outdoors.
Everyone knows that Eagle Auto Repair in Lake Park, Georgia is the best place to get your vehicle back in shape and keep it there. But did you know they're also a certified U-Haul provider? That's right. If you are moving somewhere or pulling a car or truck and need help, Eagle Auto Repair can hook you up. No matter if it's local or long distance, we've got you covered. Might as well leave your car for service while you move. That's multitasking. Eagle Auto Repair, 321 Lakes Boulevard in beautiful Lake Park, Georgia. Stop by or give Ronnie a call at 229-559-1999.
We're running out of time. We're drawing the line. This is our battle cry.
Huntin' is Good TV is an action-packed hunting show with a mission to secure our hunting heritage. Join Steve Nichols, Trey Weatherington, and Neil Armati each week as they hunt across the U.S. and Canada with pro athletes, actors, wounded warriors, kids, and regular old Joes who know hunting is good. Huntin' is Good TV airs on Pursuit Channel and is available on Dish Network Channel 240 and DirecTV Channel 604. For more info, visit huntingisgoodtv.com and follow on Facebook at facebook.com/HIG TV show. You can also use your high-speed internet connection to watch online by logging on to filmon.com at the airtimes posted on our website. And remember, hunting is good.
This is our battle cry.
Southern Ocean Sports at 1607 North Ashley Street, Valdosta has been the South's premier dive shop for almost 25 years. SOS is an NAUI dive shop and teaches everything from basic open water dive classes right up to instructor. Come learn to dive with Dave Stone of the History Channel's hit show Axemen. Southern Ocean Sports also has a complete line of paintball guns and accessories, as well as the only skateboard shop in town. Stop by Southern Ocean Sports at 1607 North Ashley Street, Valdosta, or give them a call at 229-244-4084.
Crystal River Seafood, located at 958 North St. Augustine Road, is simply described as the best fresh seafood in South Georgia. Fresh is the key word here. No matter what you crave, from shrimp to fish, grilled to fried, Crystal River Seafood has it all. The service is second to none, and the atmosphere is typical Southern hospitality. So if you want to treat yourself to a fine, fresh seafood dinner with the family, or enjoy a nice lunch special, it's Crystal River Seafood in Valdosta, Georgia, just down from Tractor Supply on North St. Augustine Road.
So you need a car, truck, or SUV? Look no further than Midway Auto Emporium at 4189 Bemis Road, Valdosta, Georgia. Cameron and Melissa Tucker has been serving the Valdosta area for over 7 years now. They are a family-owned and operated local business with hometown values and still believe in handshake deals. With a great selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, with a Carfax report on every one of them, along with bank financing at all credit levels and interest rates as low as 1.85% with approved credit. 4189 Bemis Road, or visit their website at midwayautoemporium.com.
It's the Good Outdoors on 99.5 Kicks Country. Now, let's get back to the fun, talking about everything to do with the outdoors with Steve, Daryl, and Ronnie.
Welcome back to the Good Outdoors radio show here in the beautiful town of Valdosta, Georgia.
The beautiful, spacious studios due to the absence of the rusty nut weather prognosticator, Ronnie Colbert. And Ronnie, I don't know if you're up listening. I hope you're resting well. Hope you're not feeling bad. Hope you're feeling better. So
that's right.
We'll get you back for ducking out on us. Don't worry.
Yeah,
we'll even it up. I tell you, it gets hard sometimes to get up and go, but our faithful listeners depend on us, so we get up and we get it done, man. That's just what we do. That's what we do here. We put a little poll on there about moving our hours up or adding, I should say, 30 minutes to our hours, and we're going to be getting back with you on that. But we're going to.
Yeah, we're checking into it. We're going to test the waters here possibly and see if we can do that later on. I wanted to talk a little bit about I didn't talk about it yesterday, the mall shooting in Portland, Oregon a couple of days ago. And now, all your gun rights activists, they're out there, the people wanting to ban guns, ban assault weapons and all this, they're out there, they're jumping on board. But a lot of there was an article this morning about why more people didn't die in it's called the Clackamas Mall shooting, and there's very good reason for that because more people are prepared. Yep. They're prepared for this. There was 10,000 shoppers in that mall, and they appeared nearly as ready and able as police to deal with a gunman appearing suddenly in their midst. And there was people helping people locking themselves inside stores, people helping people get out of the mall, and They did not know whether any member of the public, as of Wednesday in a press conference, whether any member of the public carrying a concealed weapon had counterattacked Roberts, but they said they were certain that Roberts died by his own hand after fleeing down a stairwell from the mall's upper level. So, I wish it would come out that somebody had, a concealed weapon, and they thwarted it because a lot less people died from that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You talking about the preparedness, and I saw in the news reports, and I was impressed by that too. I think that they said from the time the incident came to light to the time that they determined the fact that it was only one gunman, it was only 22 minutes passed. Wow. And that's a pretty quick time to determine that, because when you've got 10,000 people in the mall, like you said, the mall is huge too. I think it was over 10 acres, in size, and it's just full of people running around, and you hear gunshots. People are probably, panicked a little bit. You've got 2 people who unfortunately were shot, and the law enforcement's got to get in there and amidst all of that, confusion and determine what's going on. And you think about it, you don't know if there's 1 gunman, 2 gunmen. Is it 5 people that have rushed the mall trying to steal something and started shooting people? You don't know. But so for them to respond that way, and not only that, like you said, the citizens themselves were filing out of the mall in an orderly fashion, and not just running out of there all willy-nilly, and I think a lot of that's due to the tragedies they've unfortunately had in Colorado. You got the Columbine shooting years ago, and then they had that nut job go into theater and shoot everybody up there. I think that was in Colorado too. So people are aware, and
yeah, they are.
But it begs the question, and this is what we want to talk about this morning. What's your opinion, or what do you think about, if someone would have had a gun in that movie theater that day to shoot that guy? He may have probably still would have shot people and killed people, but I don't think the number would have been as high as it was. I don't remember how many, but there was a lot of people were shot and hurt, and lives ruined.
Most of these idiots out there that do these shootings this way, they're mentally ill anyway. And when they're actually confronted, like by police officers and things like that, what's the first thing they do? They shoot themselves.
Yep.
So they're cowards in their own right.
They sure are.
By going and doing what they're doing, and then they take this way out, and it just aggravates me that people have to, if their life is turned upside down, they have to take to turning violence to hurt someone else because their life is a mess, or they view it as a mess, or whatever you want to call it.
But that's where the problem about being mental comes in. They don't have control of it.
Well,
that's why we're not allowed to carry them if we're mental. We're not supposed to.
Well, I know that, and this guy actually stole. He stole it.
That's what happens. That's why criminals have guns. They steal them
because they steal them, and he stole this weapon beforehand.
So
from a friend of his.
Yeah. So let's do this. Let's ban guns, and that way the criminals will voluntarily stop and say, they've banned guns, so I'm not going to steal any no more and shoot nobody. That's the stupidest line of thought or reason it is. You just the only people that will own guns if you ban guns are criminals. So so who are you punishing here? You're punishing the law-abiding citizenry. You generally you don't have to look no further than Congress to figure out the real deal and what's really going on, and you start realizing it's about some sort of insane political theology that they want to control the citizenry. In Washington D.C., when they had the gun ban there, I don't even know if it's still in effect there. They were trying to overturn it. Maybe they did. I don't know. But in Washington D.C., back years ago, there was a gun ban, and you couldn't carry a gun. Well, guess what? Congress Congress made an exception and allowed themselves to be able to carry one for personal protection. So
you wonder why they want to do that.
Yeah, and it's okay for the congressmen and the senators to carry the gun, but the citizens can't. Okay, that's problem number one. That's like the health care law. Whether you're for or against it, you got to admit that it's a kind of odd that they exempted themselves from the requirement and the mandate. They don't have to have the same type of insurance. They can keep their own. You know what I mean? They don't want the government insurance. We want to keep our own. We want to have guns to protect ourselves, but we don't want you to. It's ridiculous. It's trampling on your Second Amendment rights. Either way you look at it, there's no argument.
Yep. None whatsoever.
There's no sane argument. But talking about statistics, the crime rate in Washington, apparently if the article I'm referring to is correct, crime rose significantly.
Yes, it did.
After the gun ban went into effect. In the 5 years before Washington's ban in 1976, the murder rate fell from 37 to 27 per 100,000, and in the 5 years after it went into effect, the murder rate rose back up to 35.
Yep.
So that's clear-cut statistical evidence right here in the United States, and there's example after example, and we'll touch on some more countries overseas who have gun control laws in there, looking at their crime rate compared to ones who do not.
In Washington, D.C., the murder rate averaged 73% higher than it was at the outset of the law, while the U.S. murder rate averaged 11% lower. So you tell me if it works or not. Statistical proof right there that it does not work.
It's absolute common sense that if I am a robber, or a person who is thinking about breaking into a house to do a strong arm robbery, if I think by any stretch of the imagination that they could be armed, I'm going to look for a house where I think they won't be armed. I mean, come on. Even a criminal is smart enough to... Now, a criminal is a stupid man or a woman, but they're smart enough to know a lot of times which house to hit, and it's you try to pick one. Think about it. I mean, you're going to rob a house today, are you going to rob one you think they've got guns, or are you going to rob one that you think they don't? Okay, there's probably a lot of other things to consider, but if I look in the yard, I see a big old 4-wheel drive truck, a dog box on the back, you got hound dogs in the pens back there, I ain't going in that house. I ain't going to do it, because you know what? I got to feel like there's a great chance I'm going to be met with buckshot.
Yep.
That's just
great
that simple.
Chance. You daggone right.
If I pull up in a yard there, I don't see anything that leads me to believe they're a hunter and an outdoorsman. They don't have a dog around. They're driving a Toyota Prius, and it just doesn't look like they're outdoors type people. Then I'm gonna pick that house over the other, and hopefully when that guy picks that house, he goes in, he's wrong, and they do have a pistol to protect themselves, because not everybody that owns a gun is a hunter or really an outdoorsman.
You're right. A lot of them aren't.
They want to arm themselves with the gun for protection. You don't have to be a hunter or an outdoorsman to own a gun. You know, if you care about your family, you probably should own one. That's my opinion.
There was a survey done back in 1982 that I'm reading on, and it was a survey of male felons in 11 state prisons dispersed across the U.S. And this study found that 34% of these people had been scared off, shot at, wounded, or captured by an armed victim. 40% had decided not to commit a crime because they knew or believed that the victim was carrying a gun, and 69% of these people personally knew other criminals who had been scared off, shot at, or wounded, or captured by an armed victim. That goes to show you, they pick and choose who they go after. And just like you're saying, if they think you're armed or they think you might have a gun, they're less likely to come to your house.
Yeah, yep.
You know, so I like to keep some old deer horns or something laying out in the front yard, or put one up on the front porch.
You know, I tell my wife this. I've told my wife this. I've told my kids this. I don't tell them enough. I always tell them that if you're out somewhere at the let's say you're at the mall, okay, and you get in trouble, you're in trouble. You know, if you're and everybody listen, if you're a teenage girl or a girl in general or a lady, if you are in a parking lot at the mall and you're in a situation that makes you uncomfortable, and let's say there's somebody that's you've noticed they've basically stalked you from inside the mall outside, and you're getting nervous, you're headed to your car. All you got to do is look around, and if you can spot a man wearing camouflage, you go over there and you tell him, hey, this, I'm nervous. This guy, I think he's following me. Could you walk me to your car? But I promise you, a man wearing camouflage is your ally. He probably, if he's not packing, he knows how to handle himself in a situation, and he can get you there. So I always tell my kids at the mall, if something bad was to happen, try to find somebody that's wearing camouflage or appears to be a hunter. There'll be a good chance that he can help you out. He might have a knife or a gun or whatever, and it's deterrence. You try to prevent crime. You try to stop it before it starts, and that's why if everybody's walking around strapping and carrying and they got a gun, less people's going to mess with them. That's a fact. If you're standing in McDonald's ordering your coffee or your Big Mac that morning, you got a side piece on, a guy comes in there and he's got robbery on his mind, he's probably going to turn around and walk back out.
I guarantee you.
But anyway, we're going to talk more about gun control and open up the phone lines here in just a minute. You listen to the Good Outdoors.
Drop by Bailey's Custom Meats at 1646 Clay Road in Valdosta and fill your freezer with the finest meats around. We will custom cut your steaks any way you want them. If it's not what you like, just tell us and we'll recut. This Friday and Saturday, we are selling bone-in New York strips for $4.99 a pound. We also have the Pick 5 for $19.99. Don't forget, we also process your deer that you take into Good Outdoors. Just quarter it and put it in the cooler. Hamburger, cube steak, or sausage, however you want it. Come by and see Mike and the gang at Bailey's Custom Meats today. We sell the meats your mama raised you on.
Triangle Discount Corner is a true discount and convenience store located at the intersection of River Street and St. Augustine Road. It's very easy to zip in and zip right back out. Triangle Discount Corner is all about convenience and discounts. Ice cold beverages, coffee, snacks, last minute needs, or filling up that gas tank in a flash is what we're all about. Wheel into Triangle Discount Corner today and tell them you listen to the Good Outdoors on Kicks Country 99.5 and get you a nice hot cup of coffee for a quarter. But you got to get there before 9 a.m. That's Triangle Discount Corner at the corner of River Street and St. Augustine and Valdosta.
Horizon RV in Lake Park, Georgia is your family-friendly RV dealer. Horizon carries a great selection of new as well as pre-owned RVs. Horizon owner B.K. Eisen created an RV dealership with a strong focus on its customers and the personal service it provides. The complete line of Coachman Freedom travel trailers is simply unbelievable, and the RV accessory and service department is second to none. If you need financing, Horizon RV has the best RV financing in Georgia. So stop by Horizon RV at 5343 Mill Store Road in Lake Park, Georgia, and take an RV to the Good Outdoors.
Hey, Dad?
Yes, Dawson?
Is there a limit on how many clay pigeons you can shoot?
Well, son, you really don't kill a clay pigeon since it's not alive to begin with.
Is there a limit on how many skeets you can shoot?
No, Dawson, there is not a limit. Usually here at Southwind Sporting Clays and Quail, we just see how many we can hit. And they are not called skeet, but I will explain that later.
Well, it wouldn't really matter if there was a limit for you.
Dawson, just because I run Southwind doesn't mean I shoot all the time.
That's not what I mean, Dad.
But what do you mean, Dawson?
If there was a limit, you wouldn't ever be in danger of going over it.
Are you saying I'm a bad shot?
Maybe you just need more practice.
Come see us today at Southwind Sporting Clays and Quail on the Quitman Highway just past the river in Brooks County, or visit our website at southwindclaysandquail.com for more information on quail hunts or rifle and pistol range or sporting clays.
You missed again, Dad.
Okay, son, let's keep moving.
Tea's Smokehouse, Adel, baby. Stop by for lunch Monday through Friday, and Teresa will sit you down to the absolute finest barbecue sandwich you can find. Located a quarter-mile north of Cook County Ford in Adel, Georgia, Sweet Tea's Smokehouse has the finest pork ribs and chicken in South Georgia. Teresa just introduced her new chicken wings to the public, and I'm telling you, they are a life-changing event. Sweet Tea's Smokehouse is also open every Thursday and Friday evening from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. Stop by Sweet Tea's Smokehouse at 701 South Hutchinson Avenue, Adel, or call your order ahead at 229-896-1665.
It's the Good Outdoors on 99.5 Kicks Country. Now, let's get back to the fun, talking about everything to do with the outdoors with Steve, Daryl, and Ronnie.
Welcome back. Hey, we got a lot of people checking in on Facebook this morning. Paul Folsom, he's here. Ian Demmergarden, Chad Everett, Brooke Glassner, Bulldog C. Hall. Man, they out there, they listening. Thanks for listening, guys. We got a call. Let's go ahead and take it this morning. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, fellas.
How you doing?
I'm wonderful. How about y'all?
Good.
We doing good. You packing this morning?
I'm packing this morning.
Amen. Amen, brother. Ain't nobody bothering you either.
No.
If they do, they're gonna have a problem, ain't they?
They're gonna have a lot of problems.
Yeah. Well, what you got to say about this here gun control issue?
Well, I mean, I think everybody need to have one.
Yeah. We're gonna go over some very positive stats that support the fact that you should.
Oh yeah. I mean, you got to protect your family.
Yep, that's right. Yeah, what is just out of curiosity, you don't have to get into specifics. When I pull up in your driveway at your yard, at your house, and look around your yard, what all will I see?
You gonna see a patrol car for one.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I got you. That might be a better deterrent than the gun itself, ain't it? Yeah.
I think so.
That's a good deal. Well, we appreciate you listening this morning and calling in.
Look here, I got a question.
All right.
Y'all heard the woman that called and complained about the deer signs?
Oh yeah, yeah. We actually played it on air one morning here a few weeks back, and it's been circulating around the internet. But that is absolutely hilarious. We were laughing so hard in the studio that day we couldn't even hardly talk. But it's absolutely amazing, and that in fact was not staged. It was real. That lady actually did believe that them deer crossed where you put the sign.
Yeah.
But
I heard that. Thought about y'all.
Yeah, I tell you, it takes. We always hear, well, it takes all kind, but you just don't understand why we got to have that kind.
She don't need a gun.
No, she don't need a gun. You're right. You're right about that. She'll do more harm with the gun than not.
Well, she's something else. I laughed at that one. Well, that one was funny.
Yes, sir. I bet you if you got a patrol car, it probably means you see. Are you county or city?
City.
Okay, you probably still see a few deer in some areas, though, don't you?
Yeah, I hit one the other night.
Yeah, they everywhere.
That'd be a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, that's right. It's I guess it's better to hit the deer with the city-owned car than your own personal one.
Yeah, I mean we got 84 that runs through us, so
yeah,
we got the fields and all.
That's right. All right. Well, we appreciate what you do to keep us safe, man, and keep up the good work and stay safe out there.
Take care.
Yes, sir.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, we appreciate all our law enforcement people. 229-253-0995 is the number to call. You can give us your humble opinion or your passionate opinion. Just keep it clean, and we'll talk about it. But Kennesaw, Georgia, we got a call coming in right now. We'll talk about it. Caller, you are on the air on the Good Outdoors.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to say I'm on my way to work, and I pack my gun every time you see me, buddy.
I hear you. That's the only way it should be. You feel a lot better. Gives you a lot more confidence when you know you got that fallback plan sitting in there, don't it?
Yes, sir, and I know how to use it.
There you go. That's right. I think it ought to be a mandatory course that everybody own a gun and go through a course on how to use it.
I think they ought to own more than one.
There you go. One for each hand, and you could strap one on your ankles, too, in case you run out of bullets.
I don't need it on my ankle.
What kind of gun do you have?
I've got them from a SKS to a 22.
I hear you. Man, are you married?
I'm a widow.
Well, I might have to get your number when we get off the air. You sound like my kind of lady.
Have you got a fishing boat?
Yep.
You the perfect woman then.
That's right.
That's right.
Well, I don't blame you at all for packing, and I try to encourage everybody to every day, because it's your right for one. And,
That's right.
And it makes you feel so much safer and so much better. And as rough as the world's getting now, you about have to.
they don't need to pull up into my yard either, because if I'm cleaning, I've got my gun.
That's good.
That's good. You live here in Lowndes County, or where are you calling from?
I live in Cook County. I'm on my way to work.
Good deal. Good deal. Well, we appreciate you listening every morning, and make sure you tell all your friends about it, and call in any time. We'll talk about anything you want to talk about.
Okay, and y'all have a good day.
All right. Thank you very much. 229-253-0995.
That right there is the perfect example to me of a broad range. And, you know, an older woman carrying a gun, and she carries it for protection, makes her feel better. You know, there's nothing wrong with that.
No, sir.
Nothing at all.
It ought to be mandatory, just like it is in Kennesaw, Georgia, right here in our home state of Georgia. To live there, it is absolutely a law that you have to have a gun. And listen to this. March the 25th, I guess this is of 2000. I don't know the date, but anyway, they've had this law in effect for several years, at least 16 years, according to the article. But the ordinance requires the head of the household, with certain exceptions now, depending on mental stability and criminal records, to keep at least one firearm in their home. So think about that. You live in this city here in Georgia. You got to have a gun in your house. The city's population grew from around 5,000 in 1980 to 13,000 by 1996, which was the latest available estimate in this survey. Yet there have been only 3 murders in that whole time, 2 with a knife and 1 with a firearm. 1. So we'll talk more about that. We got another call coming in. Caller, you're listening to the Good Outdoors. How you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing good. This is Chris from Bob's place.
All right, Chris, what's going on?
Just the other day, I was in Harvey Supermarket.
Yes, sir.
And I do have a tote and carry permit, but I have my little 25 on my belt on the outside.
Right.
Just doing my regular shopping. And I went through a checkout that the gal I'm used to going through, and she saw it, and she asked me, she said, "Is that real?" And I said, "Yes, ma'am, it is."
Here's your sign.
She said, and then she asked me, "Did I have any bullets in it?" I said, "Oh, well, of course I have bullets in it." She said, "Oh." And then I informed her, I said, "Ma'am, if some nut comes through that door, I'll be your best friend."
You dang right.
I guarantee you would. She'd huddle right here next to you.
I said, "I'm going to protect myself first, and if I can help you out, I will."
That's exactly right. Yeah, you know, it's wrong to sit there and wish for a scenario when you're packing a gun like that, and you know, in Harvey's or Walmart. But it's nice to know that if it went down, you got something that you can use to control your destiny. He's going to be in trouble. Yeah, he's going to be in trouble.
I agree 110%.
Yes, sir. Where are you calling from this morning?
This is Moultrie, Georgia.
Moultrie, Georgia. Gotcha, man. We love Moultrie, Georgia. Derwood Dominy, the voice of the Packers over there, is a good friend of mine. And I actually used to work at McKellar Motors before it was Edwards Motors, if you remember that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so Wayne McKellar and them guys are good people. Glenn Gray over that way. We got a lot of good friends from Moultrie.
Yeah, I'm still hanging in here with Riverside.
Riverside Manufacturing. Yeah, I know where that is. Riverside's actually a city over there, right there in Moultrie. It's kind of like our Remerton here in Valdosta.
Yeah, we got our own zip code.
That's right.
Big old place.
Right. What river is that runs right there through Riverside? Is that the
Ocklawakanee?
Ocklawakanee, yeah. It was you know, over there behind that little creek. There's a creek that runs over. It's behind a junkyard over there, right off of the bypass there. We would walk that creek, believe it or not, catching red bellies. And it's a real small creek. Now this was probably 15, 20 years ago. I don't know what it's like over there now, but man, a few of our friends, he told me about it, and I didn't believe him. And he said, "Just come go with me one day." So we strapped on a bunch of paraphernalia there and walked that creek from there and come out right there at down there close to where, well, not real close, but down there near where Rich Oil is, and or was. I don't know if it's still there. And had a stringer full of red bellies. Wasn't real big, but it was good eating.
Oh yeah, and down there around Thomasville, it gets big.
Mm-hmm.
I can put my 14-foot boat in that river.
That's right, and there's a lot of good deer hunting around there too.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we appreciate you calling in this morning, giving your opinion on the guns. Be careful.
All right, y'all have a good one.
All right,
See you,
thank
buddy.
you. And that's good. You know, like he said, that lady's going to be his best friend if something was to go down with him having the thing. But but back to the Kennesaw, Georgia thing. You know, there's just no crime there. You know, there's been one firearm committed. You know, problem there in over 25 years. We got another call coming in this morning. Good morning, caller. You listening to the Good Outdoors?
Yes, sir. This is Paul from Walker's Crossing.
I hear you, Paul, from Walker's Crossing. I know right where that is.
Yes. I just want to touch on the gun control. I think everybody should have one and carry one.
Yep.
But I like to share a story that happened a while back, or this past weekend. Don't mind.
Go right ahead.
About 3 years ago, I had to go to North Georgia, and I found a Borkin Spaniel, bought a Borkin Spaniel. And about 2 months after I got her home, she got out of the pen in the Ray City area, and she's been gone for 3 years.
Wow.
This past weekend, where my wife works, a guy put up a poster with her, a picture of a Borkin Spaniel, and it says "free to a good home." So we got the puppy and the dog, and getting back, when I bought her, I took her to the vet and had her microchip, and then we got her this past Sunday, and then I took her Monday to the vet and got her scanned, and it comes out to be my dog.
I'll be doggone. What a story. So after 3 years, it's your dog.
Yep. Yep.
Did you contact the people back that you got it from and find out the story of how they got it?
No, he's kind of he said he's a licensed breeder.
Yeah.
And where he gave it away, and you know, we're trying nobody knows him, you know, nobody knows where he's live, and I'm trying to find out, you know.
Caller, I hate to rush off, but we got a hard break here. You listen to the Good Outdoors on 99.5.
Service. It's a very simple word, but you'd think it's French. At Deep South Sanitation, our service will never be questioned. We are there when we say we'll be there. If there's a couple extra bags by the can, we pick it up. Deep South Sanitation don't care if the lid won't close. All the more reason to dump it. If you're elderly or disabled, the Deep South Sanitation team will get your can, dump it, and put it back. If trash blew out, we don't leave it, we pick it up. Keep the money you pay for sanitation services local by supporting Deep South Sanitation, a locally owned business. Call Carrie Scarborough today at Deep South Sanitation, 229-559-0200. You are a hunter. You probably hunt from a tree. If you do, you owe it to your family to use a safety harness. Hunter Safety System has been providing hunters with a safe way to hunt for over 10 years. Many companies have created vests since, but Hunter Safety System is still number one. There are styles that fit men, women, and children of all shapes and sizes. Do not climb a tree without vests and products from Hunter Safety System. You get no second chance. Visit HunterSafetySystem.com. Saving lives is what they do.
White Brothers Auto Supply is South Georgia's auto parts headquarters, located at 1106 West Hill Avenue in Valdosta, Georgia. White Brothers can cover the smallest auto part need right up to a replacement engine or transmission. Serving Valdosta with an enormous auto parts inventory, you can rest assured that White Brothers has what you need, no matter if you're a do-it-yourselfer or an automotive professional. White Brothers has the right part at the right price. Stop by 1106 West Hill Avenue in Valdosta or call 229-244-8773 for all your auto part needs.
Hey guys, you want to win a free hunting or fishing trip?
Well, it's easy. Just like us on Facebook.
That's right. Like us on Facebook at The Good Outdoors with a Z. Each month we will draw a name on air and enter it in the grand prize drawing to be held December 21st, just in time for Christmas.
The winner will be announced on air and can have his or her choice of a hunting or fishing trip, all expenses paid.
And I hope you're not camera shy, because it just might be filmed for the Hunt is Good TV show.
Now remember, you have to like us on Facebook at The Good Outdoors.
With a Z.
That's right, The Good Outdoors with a Z.
Here we go again. Every time there's a food plot to be planted, Daryl's nowhere to be found. You see him, Ronnie?
He's probably in the truck eating a dang sandwich.
I'm sitting right here by this tree and they don't even see me.
Man, that Real Tree AP was designed to blend hunters with their surroundings, not hide them when it's time to work.
I'm so hidden the scooters can't even find me.
Okay, Daryl, come on. We got to get this stuff planted.
What's that? Hey, stop it.
Real Tree. It's so real, a coyote might pee on it.
Serves you right, you slacker.
Hey y'all, have you heard about Carter & Sons Produce? Farm fresh produce as always. Plus, the all-new Carter & Sons Butcher Shop is now open. Hand-cut meats, top-grade selections, plus all the fixings. It just doesn't get much better than that. Stop by today to pick up everything you need for your family's dinner table. And don't forget, find us on Facebook, Carter & Sons Produce and Butcher Shop, voted #1 in South Georgia for a reason. 1500A, South Patterson Street, Valdosta. Y'all come see us.
You're listening to The Good Outdoors with Steve, Daryl, and Ronnie on 99.5 Kicks Country. Now, let's get back to the fun.
Good morning, folks. Appreciate y'all calling in this morning, 229-253-0995. We had to abruptly go to the break, and we were able to hang on here after we lost you there to talk to the gentleman. But he had a dog, a Boykin Spaniel. If you're not familiar with a Boykin Spaniel, they are a beautiful dog, high demand and all. But he had put a chip in it when he got it. The dog went missing, and 3 years later, he saw a poster up in town of someone that was giving away free to a good home. Long story short, he went and picked the dog up, took it to the vet. They found it had a chip. They scanned it, and lo and behold, it was his dog from 3 years prior. What a story, man. I think did we have a call coming in there? We did. Sorry about that. Y'all call back 229-253-0995. And here's the call coming in. Good morning, caller. You're on there on the Good Outdoors.
Hey, man.
Hey, how are you?
Talking about women protecting themselves.
Yeah.
I know something that a woman can tote in her vehicle, or if they got a big enough parking lot, they can tote in there, that really works. And when it hits a person, they have to go to the hospital. There's no running away or anything.
What is it?
You can put my wife, we were out of state, and she has seen on the internet about hornet and wasp spray.
Ooh.
Huh.
And we were out of the state, and I was working, and she went to her, and one of my girls went to the mall there in the big city, and somebody had tried to rob her, and she had her hornet and wasp spray. This stuff shoots up to 20 feet. They ain't no getting close to you.
Right.
And she hit this guy with the hornet and wasp spray. He laid there until the cops got there.
If it's anything like a hornet and wasp sting, and it's gonna get their attention, ain't it?
Oh yeah, it hit him in the eyes, and they had to wash his eyes out several times to get it out, and he couldn't move, couldn't do nothing. It burns and it stings.
Now that's funny. I like that.
But amazing, you got to be in close vicinity of them. A lot of them.
Yeah.
The hornet and wasp 20 feet away. I mean, you can make him lay down quick.
It'll shoot a stream out there now. I like that. Yeah, that's pretty funny.
I saw that on the internet. A lady up in New York used it one time, and she had it on the internet, and she saw it. And ever since then, my wife has believed in carrying that gun. And she finally she used it one time. I hope and pray she never use it. But it did save them, because of this one mall in this city. They had a lot of problems with people robbing people, leaving the mall and stuff.
Yeah.
But she got that one.
That's good.
I like it.
One for the good guys, or good girls in this case.
But if they got some hornet wall spray, they can tote in their vehicle in the door or something like that.
Yeah.
That's where she keeps hers at. Guaranteed. If you hit somebody with it, the law will get them.
Good deal. Good deal. Appreciate that tip. We'll pass it on.
All right, man.
All right. Thank you.
You know,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Illinois just struck their ban down, this week, and now they're going to fight that again.
Oh yeah, they're going to fight
control people wanting to fight it. Got another call? Good deal. Good morning, caller. You on the air?
Hey, I was calling about the gun control thing. I heard you guys talking about a little earlier.
Yeah.
My wife texted me one day, said that my dad said that there was going to be a run on ammo since we got a new president, or the same president, and said that she was all worried. She said we need to go buy a pallet of ammo and MREs. And I said, look, the government has night vision, heat vision, X-ray vision, nuclear subs, airplanes. Me and my pallet of 30-06 ammo, we're not going to do a whole lot against what the government has.
Yeah,
I said, we've got more important things to worry about than stockpiling ammo. Our son's handwriting is horrible. So I said, let's go ahead and focus on the short term and not worry so much about what kind of regulations we got going right now. I said, it sounds like there's a lot of folks that are a little bit upset that their candidate didn't get elected. I said, let's focus on the hard facts. When we see some hard facts, then let's focus on that.
Well, I personally think there are very hard facts, and it's obvious that, that you got a lot of opinions out here. I think we just lost the caller there, but what he's saying is, it's a different point of view. It's not so much political to me right now as it is availability. That we know right now, beyond the shadow of a doubt, we do have the opportunity right now to go buy ammunitions and buy weapons. And when you look around, there is hard data and hard facts that there is movements out there trying to thwart your ability to own a handgun or a gun or buy ammunition. Taxes, the economy, no matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, we all know that taxes are going to have to go up to lower the deficit, and they're going to start looking at ways to do it. And it's not necessarily that they would be picking on the gun industry, but they've got to look. I mean, it's common sense. You got to look at revenue streams. Where can we gather money up? So right now, if I believe you said it was your wife, I agree with her point. Right now, you can philosophize over the fact whether you should stockpile it, MREs and ammunition, but the fact is, if you buy it right now, and you buy it regular right now, and you do pile it up now, as opposed to 5 years down the road, common sense to tell you that you're going to get it cheaper now than you will then. Plus, you're thwarting, you're protecting and hedging your bet against the fact that if regulations come down to try to regulate our guns and our ability to buy guns and ammunition, you're getting past that. So, but statistics don't lie as far as gun ownership. Now, yeah, you're right. We're not going to. I don't think a common average person, whether a Republican, Democrat, liberal, or conservative, I think the vast majority of folks like that are not. I can't see a civil war. I personally can. I'm not saying it won't happen because history says it could, but I don't own guns because I think the government, that I've got to protect myself against the government. I am a conservative, and I make no bones about it. I did not vote for this president, and I am concerned about our country and our rights. But I don't think that in our lifetime we're going to see a civil war. And I don't need a gun to work because I'm worried about fighting against my own country. That's not the point. That's not what we're saying. Gun laws and gun advocacy is for protection, just like the stats in Kennesaw, Georgia, if I can get to them. In every statistical category, from grand theft auto to murder to manslaughter, rape, assault with hands, feet, etc. I mean, any statistical category you look at, they are so far below the national average that it's not even funny, and it's a direct result from the mandatory gun ownership law in Kennesaw, Georgia.
I don't believe that, I understand what the caller was saying. I don't believe that we necessarily need to go out right now and stockpile ammunition. If you want to, that's great. That's your choice by all means. But me personally, my belief is I don't believe I have to right now because I don't think there's going to be an overnight law passed or made.
Absolutely not.
Banning anything, banning any firearms. So yeah, I mean, I totally agree with what he said. Let's worry about the more, I say more important things in a way, but let's worry about what is at hand right now, like his child's handwriting that is poor. I mean, worry about that because you don't have to run out and buy a bunch of ammunition. I'm not that type person. Yeah, I do have plenty stockpiled, but I haven't run out and bought any just because this president's been elected or the fiscal cliff is coming or anything like that. I don't believe in it. I don't believe there's a civil war coming or any lines of that. I just think that if a person wants to, let them go out and do it. It's their right to do it. I'm not going to push anybody. I'm not going to walk around saying, hey, let's run out and buy them. We got to stockpile bullets. We got to stockpile all kind of ammunition, guns, and everything. It's not going to be an overnight law.
No, it's not.
By no means. They're not going to do that in just an overnight thing. They may keep on taxing us and taxing us and taxing us where we can't afford to buy ammunition, where we can't afford to buy guns, but it's not going to be an overnight thing.
That's right. You can spend hours on end practicing with your child on his handwriting. It takes you about, 2-3 minutes to get online and order a box of bullets. Right. So it's not. I don't think that's the analogy. There's I see where he's coming from with the call, and we do appreciate your call. I'd love to have somebody call right now, 229-253-0995, and give us the other side of the argument. Yeah, I stipulate the fact that there's idiots out there with guns. But the gun, it's not the gun that's causing the violence, okay? It's the person that's holding the gun. It's the criminal that's got the gun. So, feel free to call in. We welcome all opinions, and we're not going to bash anyone on this show because they have an alternate opinion. The caller made the comment about the MREs, which that's meals ready to eat. It's a military developed pack of food, that takes up small space, and there's a lot of talk show hosts, conservative talk show hosts, that are running commercials about survival packs and this doomsday things, and you got to remember something else. A lot of people immediately go to say, hey, these guys are idiots. These conservatives want you to buy these survival packs because of the government. No, it's not. It's not because of the government. It's because of hurricanes, tornadoes, things like that, where your power goes down and you got that stuff. It's not. Conservatives are not zealots about guns and things like that. Politics on both sides. Conservative takes things that Democrats say, they twist it to their advantage. Democrats do the same thing. You got to read through the bull. You got to read through the bull. Have some common sense. So
that's right. But let me ask you. Let me make a statement here. Look at history. Free people have guns and slaves don't.
Yep.
Did any people armed with rifles end up, down in the slave ships? No, they didn't.
No.
So my point here is, just having guns does not guarantee you to have freedom.
No, sir. No, sir.
It does not. But plenty of armed people are dependent on others. This article I'm reading here, it says plenty of armed people are dependent on others for food, decision making, and the like. Being armed is just one of several essential elements necessary for freedom. Being armed by choice or compulsion guarantees having to exist at the mercy of others. Being unarmed by choice. So if they take your guns from you, if they take everything you have as far as guns or any kind of weapons to defend yourself, you're at their mercy. Plain and simple. That's the way it's always been, the way it always will be. England was the same way when they did their handgun ban. We'll touch on that. Lots of comments coming in this morning. Y'all keep the calls coming. 229-253-0995. We'll be right back in just a few minutes on the Good Outdoors.
Fisherman's Paradise. The mention of the name makes me want to get out on the water. Fisherman's Paradise at 2031 Bemis Road, Valdosta, has been serving South Georgia and North Florida for over 12 years. A huge selection of rods by Shimano, reels, fishing line, lures, you name it. I counted over 600 different types of Zoom plastic worms alone. They got Culprit, Assassin Salt, Berkeley Gulp, Reaction, and on and on. They got topwater, crankbaits, spinners, and one of my favorites, the rattle trap. From hooks to corks and sinkers to minnows, shiners, and live worms, Fisherman's Paradise can send you to the lake, pond, or river with total confidence. Dave and Judy Leonard want to thank everyone from Bainbridge to Nahunta, from Perry, Georgia to Perry, Florida, and everywhere in between for making them the fisherman's choice. If personal, knowledgeable, one-on-one attention is what you need, stop by Fisherman's Paradise at 2031 Bemis Road, Valdosta. I promise you this, the fish will hate you for it. That's Fisherman's Paradise, proud sponsor of the Good Outdoors.
Steve, what's wrong? Why are you crying?
Man, I've been unfaithful. I found someone else.
Dude, what were you thinking? Does she know?
What? Not on my wife, you knucklehead.
Then what are you talking about?
I've eaten the same pizza for years, but I went to Marco's Pizza a few weeks back, and when I crave pizza, it's Marco's at 4320 Kings Way behind Cass Perch and Pipkin Motors.
Man, I've been hitting that place from day one. Pizzas, wings, cheesy breads, salads, sandwiches, it's all incredibly delicious.
It sure is, and have you tried those Marco's chicken dippers? Oh my gosh, are those things out of this world.
They have specials every day, and what a great place for the family.
Marco's is the place to be for food, and my personal favorite is I get to watch SpongeBob on the TVs located right there on the table.
Visit Marco's Pizza on Kings Way in Valdosta today. Hot delivery and quick carryout also available.
That's Marco's Authentic Italian Pizza.
Give them a call at 229-245-9595. Val Optics on Patterson Street in Valdosta, Georgia has been providing 1-hour service for 25 years. From eyeglass repair to eye exams conducted by one of 2 on-site optometrists, Val Optics is there for all of your eyesight concerns. There is no need for an appointment, and most insurances are accepted. Val Optics also accepts outside prescriptions. So if you need eyeglass repair or an eye exam, stop by Val Optics at 601 North Patterson Street, Valdosta, Georgia. 25 years in business says it all.
So you need a car, truck, or SUV? Look no further than Midway Auto Emporium at 4189 Bemis Road, Valdosta, Georgia. Cameron and Melissa Tucker has been serving the Valdosta area for over 7 years now. They are a family-owned and operated local business with hometown values and still believe in handshake deals. With a great selection of used cars, trucks, and SUVs, with a Carfax report on every one of them, along with bank financing at all credit levels and interest rates as low as 1.85% with approved credit. 4189 Bemis Road, or visit their website at midwayautoemporium.com.
You're listening to The Good Outdoors with Steve, Daryl, and Ronnie on 99.5 Kicks Country. Now, let's get back to the fun.
Good morning, folks. Welcome back to The Good Outdoors. We are definitely touching on a passionate subject as we anticipated with our vast knowledge up in this studio. We knew that we would be getting some background or some phone calls about it, but talking about guns, Second Amendment rights, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. It is a right, isn't it? It's the Second Amendment, the second one, not the first one, the second one. So this segment is brought to you by our friends and fine folks at Fisherman's Paradise over on Bemis Road. Dave and Judy Leonard have been there for over 12 and a half years serving the South Georgia, North Florida area. We have a fantastic giveaway, exclusive only to people who are listening to this show. If you are in earshot, listen to what I'm telling you. Go by Dave and Judy Leonard's Fisherman's Paradise on Bemis Road. She'll give you the details on how you can register to win a $100 shopping spree there at Fisherman's Paradise, and for $100 you can get some good stuff. You can load up on some fishing tackle. So we'll be giving you more details on how to do that, but there's no box sitting there on the shelf. There's no nothing. You got to go in the store and say, "Hey, I've been listening to The Good Outdoors, and they said that I can enter a contest because I listen," and he'll tell you the details, him and Judy. So go by there on Bemis Road. Been talking about Second Amendment rights, gun control, and another statistic I wanted to tell you there about Kennesaw, Georgia, where again it is mandatory for the head of the household to own a gun and have it in that house. Since that thing's been in effect, I believe it's been in effect since 1976, if I'm not mistaken. I got to do a little research. But since then, all the way to 2009, the national average per 100,000 homes for a strong-in, armed break-in, home invasion type thing, the national average is 160 households per 100,000, which is alarmingly high if you think about it. I mean, you can stick your head in the sand if you want, but it could happen to you. But in Kennesaw, Georgia, it's happened 42 times since 1976. So do your math on that. It don't happen. And in the 42 times it happened, they apprehended the person on site 28 of the 42 times. So, I mean, there's absolutely no arguing that statistic. And I think we got a call coming in. Good morning, caller. You're on the Good Outdoors.
I got mixed feelings about the bear arms.
Yeah.
I think you got to go through a bunch of bull, including evaluation for your mental state before you can get your permit.
That's right. That's right. And you have to. You can't make a gun available to someone who's mentally unstable. You just can't do it.
Yeah, because my husband is from Colorado. And
yeah.
He said that Columbine was his back door. Out his back door and everything. So
right, yeah, and those kids, the two kids that shot up the school there and did that, definitely had a terrible history of, mental issues. I should say they had mental issues. They had no business having the gun, and that's where the breakdown is. If we would enforce the laws on the books, maybe we would keep those guns out of the hands of people who don't need them, but definitely criminals. If you got a criminal record, you're not getting a gun.
Yeah, those two boys and that kid that did the shooting at the theater.
Yeah, that's exactly right. He definitely had mental issues. So you got to go back and say, well, how did the guns end up in the hands of those people? And it may be the parents. If you're a law-abiding citizen, a good parent, and you've got a gun in your home and you allow your kid who has a mental issue to get the gun, then I think we should be taking a look at prosecuting that parent.
From what I understand, it wasn't the parents that gave these kids guns. It was a girlfriend or something.
Well, then if that's the case, whoever supplied the gun, they should be prosecuted. It's just that simple.
Yep, I agree. Hey, we appreciate you calling in this morning. Stay safe out there.
I will.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, you know, in Florida, I mean, there's several states that have concealed carry.
Right.
And all the, you know, every state you go through, you have to go through a background check, and that's required. But you know, Florida passed theirs in 1987. The right to carry law became effective, and that since then the murder rate has averaged 30% lower than it was before the law took effect, and the 15% lower than the U.S. average. Texas, basically the same thing. And since Texas's right to carry law, the murder rate has averaged 30% lower than it was before the law, and 28% lower than the United States average. Michigan the same way. You know, there's just few states right there. Everywhere you go that you have a right to carry, the murder rate drops.
Yep.
You know, and it just, statistics just don't lie at all.
That's right. And you know, that was a great call. Our lady that just called, bringing up the good point. You know that you know, the evaluation process needs to be adhered to. But if we enforce the laws that are currently on our books, and not even and add to it, I think the punishment should be severe to a first of all, if you're a convicted felon and then you get caught later on in another crime and you've got a gun, then you should go away and not be a problem to society for your life. Okay? I mean you just couldn't. You know, you screwed up one time. You got out for whatever it is what you did. Now you've got a gun and you committed a crime. You should be wiped out. You know, you should be gone out of society. But we're gonna take another call real quick. Good morning, caller. You on there on the Good Outdoors?
Yes, sir. I was calling about the gun control.
Yes, ma'am.
I live in Lakeland, and down the road from me, this lady had guns in her house. They broke in, stole all their guns. Well, they came back about 3 weeks later. She happened to be home, but they didn't think she was home because the vehicle was gone.
Right.
Well, she saw him outside, one little guy, and she said, I just sit there. Now, what am I going to do? I have no gun. I'd shoot him if he broke in.
Yeah.
So I just watched him. She said, there's a big stick in the house. She went and got that stick. She said, I stood behind that door until he broke into that door. And she said, when he walked in that door, she opened the door. She said, I took that stick and I started beating on him, and she done called the law. She said, I followed him all the way down the doorstep, beating on him. I said, I'd love to have been there watching that.
You ain't kidding, boy. You ain't kidding.
I love it. The law came up and I had him down the dirt.
Yeah, good. Not a lie. Well, I'm
glad. If she had her gun, she'd probably kill that little feller.
Well, you know, in all honesty, it might be bad to say or a little rough to say that, you know, that's probably what he needed. If he stole all her guns the first time, then he came back for more, he probably needed to be shot. That's just the bottom line.
Thank you.
Appreciate you calling. Yes, you know the breaking in happened to us, you know, at our house when Daryl and I were little. You know, somebody, I don't know, I can't remember the circumstances, we were gone or whatever, but somebody broke in and stole every gun in the house, you know, and you know, that was probably someone who knew.
All but one. They sold 13 guns, all but
13
one.
13 that would order? Well,
they couldn't find it.
Yeah, and that's probably somebody that knew us and knew that we had that many guns, and Dad had quite a collection there, and that happens. But you know, back then there was no such thing as action alarms or anything like that. So a lot of people got alarms on their thing there, but burglars don't care about that too much. If they think they can get in there and get out and get something and go buy them some drugs or whatever it is, they'll do it. But enforcement of the gun laws, a touchy subject she brought up a while ago on the phone call, with those guys out in Columbine and all that. I'm saying this, and I would hate this for happening. It could, but your guns at your house, I'm going to use myself as an example. My guns at my house are locked up. My kids cannot get them, okay? But I'll tell you this, if my kids get up into high school and their cheese slides off the cracker for some reason and they go nuts, and they come home and they were able to just walk in a closet and grab my gun and go out and shoot somebody at the mall, then I should be held responsible too. There should be some penalty. Now, whether it's jail time, a fine, I should be held accountable. Now, if I've got my guns locked up and secured, and my kid goes in there and cuts the lock, breaks in and gets my guns and goes and shoots them, then there could be an argument that, hey, can I be held responsible for that? I think the answer would be no in that circumstance. But if you've got a parent in there, certainly, that has a gun in there that they bought hot off the streets, it's not registered, it's not bought through proper means, it's not a legally owned weapon, and it's made available for the commission of a crime, I think they're culpable. I think they've got some responsibility. So I believe that if we were to enforce the laws that we have on the books right now for gun crimes, expand on those to make sure that if someone has made it available, that they suffer some penalty too, then I think that'll help a tremendous amount. But don't penalize law-abiding citizens. Don't penalize the populace where there's absolutely no statistics available and that I can find, and I challenge anybody that's on the other side of the coin. If you can call and tell me about a city who has banned guns or a country that has banned guns and the crime rate has fallen, I'll stand corrected. But I don't think that there's an example out there. I think in every single case that I know of, that I can read and that I can research, certainly here in the United States, the crime rate has increased, not decreased.
Mm-hmm.
So that right there is, to me, is the ultimate argument. And when you start wanting to, thwart our ability to own a gun, I mean, all you got to do is point to statistics. The stats don't lie. It's like baseball. If a guy's hitting 150 for the past 3 years, there's no reasonable expectation that if we pick him up, he's going to hit better than 150.
That's right.
I mean, stats don't lie. I don't know. It's a passionate subject. It's one that's near and dear to our heart as gun owners and hunters and recreational shooters. So I don't know. I don't know what the answer is to stamp out crime. There probably ain't an answer. There's too many people. The economy. When times are good, crime rates are generally down. When times are bad, crime rate is generally up. People start stealing, robbing, and this, that, and the other. They start making bad choices to make ends meet. And you can't do that. But it's not the gun's fault.
It is not the gun. It's the person's fault. You can't blame the gun. None. I mean, none at all. You ought to see the numbers I'm looking at for since 1990 election cycle. The political contributions were made by gun rights and gun control people. Gun rights total contributions $22 million. Gun control almost $2 million.
Yeah, and I guarantee you that of that money, there ain't a single person that's a criminal or strong arm robber. They're not contributing on either side of the coin.
I guarantee you not. Hey, we're going to hit another break here and come back with the last segment of Good Outdoors. Thanks for listening.
Hey, Dad?
Yes, Dawson?
Is there a limit on how many clay pigeons you can shoot?
Well, son, you really don't kill a clay pigeon since it's not alive to begin with.
Is there a limit on how many skeets you can shoot?
No, Dawson, there is not a limit. Usually here at Southwind Sporting Clays and Quail, we just see how many we can hit. And they are not called skeet, but I will explain that later.
Well, it wouldn't really matter if there was a limit for you.
Dawson, just because I run Southwind doesn't mean I shoot all the time.
That's not what I mean, Dad.
But what do you mean, Dawson?
If there was a limit, you wouldn't ever be in danger of going over it.
Are you saying I'm a bad shot?
Maybe you just need more practice.
Come see us today at Southwind Sporting Clays and Quail on the Quitman Highway just past the river in Brooks County, or visit our website at southwindclaysandquail.com for more information on quail hunts or rifle and pistol range or sporting clays.
You missed again, Dad.
Okay, son, let's keep moving.
Everyone knows that Eagle Auto Repair in Lake Park, Georgia is the best place to get your vehicle back in shape and keep it there. But did you know they are also a certified U-Haul provider? That's right. If you are moving somewhere or pulling a car or truck and need help, Eagle Auto Repair can hook you up. No matter if it's local or long distance, we've got you covered. Might as well leave your car for service while you move. That's multitasking. Eagle Auto Repair, 321 Lakes Boulevard in beautiful Lake Park, Georgia. Stop by or give Ronnie a call at 229-559-1999.
You did it. You bagged that trophy of a lifetime. So who you going to trust to recreate that memory? Jody Hewitt at Artistic Wildlife is the man to call. With years of experience and an attention to detail that is unmatched, Artistic Wildlife is the taxidermist for deer, turkey, ducks, fish, and even a dadgum godforsaken rattlesnake, if you're one of those crazy folks. Details on Jody's brand new Artistic Wildlife studio in Adel, Georgia will be coming soon. Give Jody a call at 229-560-3062 or visit his website at artistic-wildlife.com.
We're running out of time. We're drawing the line. This is our battle cry.
Huntin' is Good TV is an action-packed hunting show with a mission to secure our hunting heritage. Join Steve Nichols, Trey Weatherington, and Neil Armati each week as they hunt across the U.S. and Canada with pro athletes, actors, wounded warriors, kids, and regular old Joes who know hunting is good. Huntin' is Good TV airs on Pursuit Channel and is available on Dish Network Channel 240 and DirecTV Channel 604. For more info, visit huntingisgoodtv.com and follow on Facebook at facebook.com/HIG TV show. You can also use your high-speed internet connection to watch online by logging on to filmon.com at the airtimes posted on our website. And remember, hunting is good.
This is our battle cry.
It's the Good Outdoors on 99.5 Kicks Country. Now, let's get back to the fun, talking about everything to do with the outdoors with Steve, Daryl, and Ronnie.
Hey, welcome back to the Good Outdoors here. This segment's brought to you by Southwind Sporting Clays and Quail out Highway 84 going towards Quitman, Georgia. Y'all go out and see John Peek and the guys for all your sporting clays, quails, your rifle range, pistol range. He does lots of kids' activities, kids' birthday parties out there. They're real popular. Go see them, and he'll take care of you, I promise. Well, we can't do the rusty nut weather report, so I'm going to do the absent nut weather report. And sorry, Ronnie, Ronnie's absent today. He's going to get in trouble for that.
He's
too.
Absent in sound, body, and mind.
It's 51 degrees out there right now, and today we're going to have AM clouds and PM sun. A high of 60 degrees today, a low of 41 tonight.
Yes, sir.
And that's going to be a little better, and a high of 70 tomorrow.
Perfect.
And 44 for a low tomorrow night. And the weekend is shaping up pretty good. It's going to get warm again. 76 for a high on Saturday and 78 for a high on Sunday. 10% chance of rain Saturday and 30 Sunday. Winds are going to be 11 miles an hour today and diminishing on down throughout the weekend. So it's going to be a nice weekend to get out. I say nice. It's going to be kind of warm again. And Daryl over there, he's liking that.
Yes.
But maybe we'll get some cooler weather. It looks like we will towards Christmas. It's going to cool on off next week a little bit more. Haha, Daryl. 46 and 63 next week. That's pretty good.
I don't mind the 60s. I can deal with that. I just don't do these 50s and 40s.
I think the perfect weather is about what we're going to have tonight and tomorrow as far as temperature. I like, from a hunting aspect, I like it to get down in the 40s, 40 to 45, and then warm up during the day. It's about 68 or 70. That way when you go hunting in the evening, as the sun starts falling, the temperature starts dropping. It's nice out there. There's generally no mosquitoes, so
that's right.
Good. T3 tip of the day brought to you by T3 Outdoors on Perimeter Road right by Zacadoo's. Make sure you go by there and see them. They got great selection of guns, bows, ammo, grunt calls, deer scents, anything you need to get outdoors or plant food plots and feed your livestock. It carries a full line of feed and seed there. So not really a tip. We're going to shift it up there. We're going to let them sponsor the interesting story of the day. Posted on Facebook by our producer here, Daryl Sample Jr. El Dorado County. I don't know what city that is. A local man lost part of his leg during a hunting excursion with friends on Saturday in El Dorado County. The men were hunting for black bear when they came across one and chased it up a tree. One hunter fired a shot at the bear and it came down, charging at one of the men. The man grabbed his .44 caliber handgun to shoot it, but instead of shooting the bear, he shot himself in the leg.
Ow!
Another hunter, luckily, shot and killed the bear. A medical helicopter flew the injured man to the medical center where doctors unfortunately had to amputate his leg from the knee down. Needless to say, the man is lucky to be alive. So, I tell you what, owning a handgun is good, but, and I guess there's no way to practice using it when a bear attacks you, but it's unfortunate to shoot yourself during a bear attack. So that
he's trying to scramble to get that gun out. That's what that was, and went off. He was a little bit scared. Hey, I got a report here from Mike Hanbeck's big deer. Over 200-inch Saskatchewan typical buck could possibly be. There's talk about it being a new world record coming from the same area.
Mike Hanbeck, yeah, I know Mike.
And he's posted that on there. It wasn't him that killed it, but he's posted it on there. It said one of his sources in Canada said this giant supposedly shot in southeastern Saskatchewan. Rumor could push the Hanson buck, 6x6, long beams and long tines. So. Hey, we got a call coming in this morning. Let's take it right quick. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. How y'all doing?
We're doing good.
This is Thomas Gray from Enigma.
Thomas Gray.
What's going on, Thomas?
Not much, man. Riding down the road, buddy, riding down the road. I just got a quick question for y'all.
Mhm.
I know this fella, I don't want to say no name or anything, keep him anonymous, but he was charged when he was about 17, 18 with a gun crime for stealing a gun, a handgun. Well, he's, I'd say 54, 55 now.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just wondering if there was anything about him. Would he be able to use a rifle to hunt with? Because he likes to hunt, but he's been using a crossbow because he just ain't checked into it.
He can check in and get his record expunged. If it's been that many years and he's not been in any more trouble at all, he can petition to have his felony actually, I think, expunged from his record, or get to where he can, carry a firearm or have a firearm, especially with it being that many years and if he's been a good law-abiding citizen. So there is ways around it. The laws are out there to punish people when they do wrong, but they're also, once they're proven to have a great track record for several many years, they can, own a firearm again.
Right.
So he can check on that.
He said something that someone had told him that the state of Georgia was the only state that would not expunge a felony firearm.
I'm not sure of that for sure. I mean, we'll have to check on that. I don't even know if we can find out, but I feel like he can. If it's been so many years, he can check on it. I believe he can. I know you can expunge from a felony, but I'm not sure of a felony firearm.
Yeah, that's something he'd have to get some legal advice on. I don't know the answer to that neither. I'm like Daryl. I know guys who have unfortunately had felony convictions, non-firearm related felony convictions, but after a certain period of time, the restriction from owning a gun comes off, and they do now own guns. So I know that can happen. But now, since it was a crime related to a weapon, I'm not sure. He'd have to find out about that.
Right. All right. That'll work.
Appreciate the call, Thomas.
All right. Thank you. You have a good day.
All right, buddy. Yeah, that's a good question. And that brings up some, some debate there. You screw up. You're 17, 16, 18, young. You don't know what you're doing to start with at that age. I didn't. And you make a mistake. Should you be given another chance? The hardline stance is this. If that gentleman, stole a gun, and the law says that, he's tried and convicted and charged and restricted from owning that gun. How long should it be? The hard line is to say, hey, you screw up one time, one strike, you out. I believe that if you did that, it might deter someone from committing that crime, even a 17-year-old who don't know what he's doing. If he knows for a fact that, hey, if I do this and I get caught, I will never, ever, ever, under any circumstances, ever get to go hunting again with a weapon. Maybe that'll keep him from doing it. I don't know.
Well, at the same time, it's a 17-year-old.
Exactly.
At the same time, it's a 17-year-old, and they do not quite understand what the future holds for them.
That's
so
right.
you can't punish people forever. So I think there's ways around it.
Yeah, and like I said, it's debate. You can go further. Even on murder convictions. With teenagers and children, they generally don't spend life in prison. They go for a period of time, go through counseling and all that, and then they're turned back in and given a second chance. And individual, you see, this is where the debate gets sticky. You see career criminals, they go in for a burglary without a gun. They get out in 5 years, and what do they do? Within 2 weeks of getting out, they do it again. They go back to jail. They serve a little more time. Prisons are overcrowded. We turn them back out. And you got people that have robbed or burglarized houses or stolen or used illegal drugs, and they do it over and over and over again. The 3 strikes you're out rule, you think about it, some crimes you shouldn't get but 1 strike, or obviously murder, and generally you don't. But even murderers are eligible for parole in a lot of cases, and there's got to be some crimes that you throw away the key on, and murder's got to be one of them, but it ain't. I don't know. It's our justice system is the best in the world. That's most people will tell you that, but it ain't perfect.
No, nothing's perfect in the world.
There's just too many layers and too many things to consider. And not to mention the fact that used to, before they changed the law here in Georgia about break-ins, you had to. I was always told, hey, if that man breaks in your house, shoot him, but you better stick a knife in his hand and tell him it was self-defense. Well, now you don't have to do that. If he comes in your door and he ain't welcome, you can pop a cap in him. It's just that simple. That's the law in the state of Georgia.
You fear for your life. You can defend yourself.
That's right.
That's what it should be.
If I'm sitting there in my bed and somebody comes in my house I'm immediately going to be fearful for my family, and I'm going to shoot the guy, and I'm not going to feel bad about it.
Let me go ahead and tell you
my
now,
fault.
do not ever, if my front door is open and unlocked and I'm asleep in my bedroom, do not ever come into my bedroom and wake me up, because you probably ain't going to make it out of there.
I guarantee you.
Hey, mine is you got to get past my two big dogs first.
Yep, that's right. You know, they did I was listening to a show the other day. They did a study. They actually interviewed criminals, a pretty vast amount of criminals that were in jail, to find out, what they liked or what they didn't like, what they targeted, and this, that, and the other. And the one thing that led the pack, that was the biggest deterrent of them going into a house and bothering it, was the presence of a dog. That was the number one thing. They said if they had a dog in the yard, they didn't go there. So
makes sense to me. I don't.
I got two big German shepherds.
That's right. You probably ain't anybody gonna mess with you.
I don't want to get bit by a dog. I guarantee you.
No. Well, we've had an interesting debate this morning, and I think you could talk all day about gun control and statistics, and it's obviously passionate, And I appreciate the caller that called in and kind of stimulated some thought on the other side. I don't think he was by any means saying he was an advocate for gun control, but he did stimulate some thought there. I want to give a shout out this morning to Bill Slaughter. Bill, if you're headed to work over there at Weiler, we want you to drive safe. Hope we didn't cause you too much laughter and make you run off the road this morning there. It was a pretty serious subject, and we appreciate Weiler Heat and Air over there on St. Augustine Road. They do a fine job. I'm sure they're going to get busy here when the weather cools down, and we appreciate everything that they do out there. And appreciate you listening, Bill. Be careful going to work.
We appreciate everybody out there listening, and everybody be careful. Lots of deer moving still every day. Lots of deer moving. But we enjoyed it. Had a great show this morning. Thanks for listening.
In honor of Rusty Nut, toodles.
You've been listening to The Good Outdoors on 99.5 Kicks Country with Steve, Daryl, and Ronnie. Join us every weekday at 4:30 when we'll do it again.